Hello, welcome. Hi, how are you guys doing today? Hi, Bruno. You're being a good boy, yes, but it's for you to go sit down. Good morning, Danda's Junk. Welcome. Glad you are here. Okay, I have made some progress. All right, go come. Okay, so I have made some progress on the project. This last Sunday, I did a live stream, which was yesterday, but did a live stream with Odin on his channel at Odin Makes. And then afterwards, I spread out at the media center and got the hard part of the circle skirt done. I was able to fit 3 rounds of cardboard and 2 rounds of fabric. So it is completely pink. I didn't even have to pull in the yellow. I had barely enough fabric. Like circles, geez Louise, they eat up fabric like nobody's business. Like, you gotta love circles. They're amazing. But they definitely do use up fabric a lot. Okay. The animals are running a little wild. So I want to show that, but it's kind of intense. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Before I get to that, I was going to talk about this look over here. So velvet doesn't like to tuck into itself because there's a lot of friction going on. So I was thinking about doing it 2 different ways, and I haven't fully decided which way I was going to handle the problem. What is the problem? Okay. This fabric it's a janky stand. Stay? No? Anyways, this fabric will stick to itself, which is, for better or worse, think like a felt board. You guys ever play with felt boards where you stick the little pictures to the fuzzy board? Anyways, that's what this fabric does to itself. So just evenly tucking it in is a pain in the butt, and it's weirdly bulky, and it doesn't look as good as I thought it would. So she doesn't want me to mess with her. Come here. Sorry. I apologize. Stay. So instead of trying to tuck it into the skirt all the way around, because it doesn't blouse the way I want to. It doesn't look bad, but it's just, it needs a little help because the velvet's you have to feel it and you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. But so there's 2 ways I was thinking of solving this tucking in the shirt problem. Is either to pre-gather it and just stitch it directly to the lining, how it would be gathered in evenly, and blouse to tuck in, so I can control where the blousiness happens. But another way I was thinking about doing it, so that it could keep the option of pepluming it, is to do a thin piece of elastic stitched around so that it's still a separate piece, but then it gathers up in blouses, but it still has the little peplum hanging that I can then either tuck up into the elastic and not have to worry about it, or it'll already be pre-gathered, so the gathers will be even when I tuck it into the skirt. I'm leaning towards the elastic, but I know that attaching it directly to the support unit is what I'm going to call it today. Maybe the easier way, but easier way is not necessarily the easier way. I know that doesn't make sense, but yes. Anyways, we have a bunch of people here. Welcome, 45th Clown. Oh, it's 4 p.m. I mean, 5:17 p.m. I can read. Here, Big Bob's Props is here. Hello, Big Bob's Props. We got a William Connors. Good afternoon. 45th Clown. Does the sticking cause damage to the fabric as well? Over long-term wear and tear, like when your jeans rub together and you get the holes, like the fibers will eventually give way. This stuff is pretty resilient. It's a stretchy, like almost athletic fabric. Reminds me of leotards. So it's more that it just is being difficult. I want it to blouse like this, and it is just going, eh. So and it's because it's bulky, it's velvety, so there's a lot of friction in there, so it's not really just, how do I evenly control the volume? Because it's easy with a lightweight silky fabric. It's not heavy and dense. You don't have to like pre-plan these things. With a heavier velvety fabric, they're more dramatic. It is what it is. You don't know until you like work with the fabrics all the time. You don't know how they're going to behave and what their needs are. And so I'm leaning towards the elastic because this is a stretchy fabric and I have more options of styling this with it. And I was going to say, oh, but I can't throw it through the sewing machine because it's the velvet, but this is the blue stretchy velvet that I can totally throw through the sewing machine. So I am even more leaning towards using the elastic to do that. I have elastic there. I have to dig through it. I didn't already do it, so I might not do that today. But that is what I'm dealing with here. I wanted to show you guys. I started the snaps on this because honestly, I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do it the way I thought I wanted to do it. And I didn't want to be completely embarrassed doing this live. But it ended up working, but I have to adjust the top one because it's not exactly where I want it. I like where the bottom one is. And I have to put in a middle one, but I just put 2 snaps in here, right down here and up here. This one I need to move to here. I chickened out and I put it too far in this way. I need to put it that way a little bit more. And I'm going to put one right here. And the snaps I love it. They're exactly what I wanted to use. The hooks work for that one. The snaps work for this one. They're just different. But I sewed them all the way through the fabric and the cardboard. So they are like stapled on there for better or worse use of the term. So I have to move this top one over so that, because this one's in the right spot, but I need it over so that it snaps in place, like just a little bit over. That little 1/8 of an inch does bother me, so I do have to fix it. There's no way around it. I can't just let it go. So I'm going to rip that out. I'm going to use a little razor blade. I do have a seam ripper, but I like how sharp this point is, and I can really get in there. Big Bob's Props, you probably use the same amount of fabric in a circle skirt as I use in a t-shirt. Circle skirts take a lot of fabric. Not gonna lie. A lot of fabric. Even tiny, like, yeah. Okay, that was easy enough to rip off. Okay. Let me see where this needs to go. It to be lined up to where I want it to be. Right there. I pre-threaded a blue needle and a yellow needle, and I am just going to need a whole bunch of pink needles today, but it is okay. Dab that. I didn't tie a knot on the end. Oh well, I'll do it now. DJ Stumpy's here, looking good. Welcome, DJ Stumpy. Thank you guys for waking up nice and early for my stream, unless, of course, you're not here in where I am, and then you guys probably like, you're pretty late. Bruno, what's wrong? You okay? Hi, how are you? You doing good? All right. I'm doing a couple stay stitches, and now I'm going to the back of the cardboard and all the way, Bruno, give me a second. All the way back through. To go. Oh, what? Gotta check where this goes, because I can't check enough times, because I didn't mark it, so. Oh. Yeah, that's where it goes. Okay. Ah, there we go. What's wrong, Bruno? There was a knot there. Oh, no, that was just a piece of the thread that I didn't get. Hey, Bruno. All right. Can't blame the stream for why I don't always get things done, huh? All right. I need you to hang out with Toby while I do this, okay? Toby will let you cuddle. Go cuddle. Come on, you know my thing. Bruno, I gotta do this, okay? Chill. I'm sorry. Okay. This is probably where a thimble would be nice. Oh, I have one of those. Okay, let me try that again. Ah, I can do this. Okay, let me just bring this to the front and then tie it off. I love how when I have a thimble, I feel like this is the finger I can't use. And it's the one I should be. Big Bad Wolf Custom Airbrushing and Decals. I asked myself the same question. No, I know. He's asking, morning, why do I get knots in my thread when I sew by hand? Waxing your thread helps. You can also use thread conditioner like Thread Magic. It helps with the problem. But when you're going in and out, you're looping and twisting your threads without even knowing sometimes. And a good way to help avoid this is to drop your needle and thread every once in a while to let the twirls spin out. And also, that's why I pull, don't overly do too long of threads. But yes, that is why, because there's lots of fibers on the thread and they like to knot themselves on each other. They will self-twist, and a knot will tie itself because it just twisted on itself, and then the harder you pull it, the tighter the knot gets. And so, yes, it happens when you hand sew. It's from this repetitive looping motion. The threads get twisted and pulled through multiple times. But waxing or conditioning your thread really, really, really does help. That's why I have the Thread Magic on my sewing machine. It makes a huge difference, especially when I'm sewing all sorts of weird materials. It just glides through smoother and doesn't pick up more fibers, and to add to the tangliness that is the thread. And also just letting it spin out the twists that you build up as you sew. Okay. It's not just you, it's everybody. It's the nature of it. Okay. I have 2 snaps already in, one at the top and the bottom. I have this side of this one already in. So I'm just going to test it real quick, make sure I got the right spot. Click them together and then click them together right here. And now it's stuck together, but there's just a little bit too much of a gappage, and I think I want just a little support, so one more in the center. And I'm going to put it right about here. And I'm going to mark it with the B. No, I need mark it with the B. No, I need okay. I'm going to do it right about all right. So I have my snaps. They look so funny, and this piece and this piece. So the female side looks like the male side on the back, but slightly more rounded. And the male side looks like the female side on the back, but flatter. And so if you are confused, reference the ones that are still on the package as to which side is up and which side is down, because snaps are teeny tiny and they always look wrong, in my opinion. I'm going to put on the male side first, because then I can adjust where the other one goes from there. Let me unsnap this. And yeah. Although I should mark it with my thread first. Big Bob's props. Wax on, wax off. Use your tools, right? This dress does give me Karate Kid shower curtain costume vibes with this, with the blousiness of this blouse. All right, I'm gonna step this directly through. This one's the hardest one to put in because its placement really does matter. If it's off, it'll suck. But it was easy enough to fix the placement of this one, so it's not the end of the world. So Sunday, I had some help from Odin work on the big circle skirt, and that took up so much space. Imagine, okay, I had at least 6 circles spread out at one time, and each circle, it feels like a snow angel amount of space. So we were in the middle of the media center, all sprawled out, trying to get these cut, glued, spiraled, and set without crushing the velvet. Because expensive velvet is delicate and crushes easy. Not super easily, but. Okay. But we used up 2 whole cans of spray adhesive. I had Odin's tacky spray adhesive. I so much prefer using this than we had. We used the stuff that they use for the ceilings of your cars when those start to fall down, and you use the spray adhesive for that install. We used 2 cans of that, and we used a can of the regular 5M or 570. I don't know. Like, I think whatever the heavy duty spray adhesive was, we used that on the cardboard side because we could not spray the fabric with that because it would show through. The vinyl headboard stuff, that one we used on the fabric, but I significantly prefer the tacky spray. Like, this is so much easier to work with. And then as far as contact cement versus rubber cement, for actual adhesion, contact cement all the way. For the cardboard sticking to the other cardboard, I would go with the contact cement. For the fabric, I really liked using the no wrinkle rubber cement. It's for it's photo safe, dries clear, and like, it's smoother. Like, it's so much easier to get a wrinkle-free surface using this combo with fabric, and it doesn't leave a residue that you can't sew through. You can completely sew through that without damaging your machine or gunking it up. So I now have stronger opinions after yesterday for sure. But after a lot of cursey words and other things said, I got the hardest part done. The fabric got cut out, the math was figured out, and what was my 3 partial circles with the roundness cut out ended up being 2 full complete circles of the fabric. And I was able to get 4 cut out of the velvet, and I have like a long strip of velvet left over, but I used up every last bit that I could get those circles out of. It was a tight fit, but I was very excited that I was able to get it. Ah, look at me. I just knotted it. Knots happen. I didn't wax my thread. I was like, this is just one little snap, whatever. If I get a knot, it's a knot. But I'm just trying to tie this off, and it made this big, ugly, bulky knot that I really don't want. It's not the end of the world. I can fix it. And if not, dun, dun, I can just cut it off. Actually, let me tie it off and then I'll cut it off. Yeah, no, it's when you're going like this in loops over and over again, you're adding a twist into your thread and it will knot on itself, especially if it's a cotton thread with little fuzzies coming off of it. Those little fibers that all knot up, yeah, they knot up on you. All right, now let me decide where it goes on the other side. Goes right here. I don't have as much fabric to sew through on this one, so I am going to do it. I'm not going to try and over perforate the cardboard, but I am going to lock my stitch off in the back. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oops. Way up there. Big Bad Wolf Custom Airbrushing and Decals keep jinxing you. Sorry. No, it is what it is. I already see that there's a whole bunch of twists in my thread that I just have to get out, because if you leave them in, then the thread will twist up on itself and pull into a knot when you try and pull it out. It is what it is. I try and ignore it and pretend it doesn't happen, but it really does happen. But you can always rip it out and try again. One more in there. I'll knot it off on the inside. DJ Stumpy, do you have any cosplays planned after this and your suit dissection? Kind of. I don't really know what I'm 100% if I'm going to like do them live or not, but the Little Mermaid movie's coming out and I made her swimsuit, and now I was going to try and I made the seashell bra top out of swimwear fabric, but I also wanted to try and make it out of foam, so they're like actual seashells. So I wanted to do Little Mermaid. And I also wanted to do her magic dress at the end of the movie before she goes into her wedding dress. The whole, she has legs, but she's magically not naked dress. I want to make that dress. I have all the stuff for the Pink Power Ranger. I haven't done that yet. And then I might be going to Lodi Con, which is in a few weeks. So I may or may not be dressing up for that. We'll see. Depends on my energy level. So not really, but I do have some cosplays in my head that are going to happen. All right. Click. I'm off. Nope. Yes, I am. Actually, between the two of them, that's as even as it's going to. No, works for me. It's all stuck together. I don't have to hold it together with pins or anything. Yay! Now that's off my plate. That feels much better. Silly things I just have to do and then they're done. So, let me put this on her. Her the snaps. I can do this. Don't worry, we're just live. It's easier when you're in it, snapping it, than it is to do on someone else. I think that's really why there's the left side versus the right side. But, oh, there's little fuzzies everywhere. Where's, oh, I know what that string's from. That's from that. Sorry, Toby. So mean, just throwing strings on you. And then this gets threaded on here. I do want to add a little back piece of the tie so it looks like it's been tied. But since this tie is heavier than that tie, I have to tie this knot tighter because it actually pulls on it. But I like that you can see the necktie part of the tie. But yeah. So, yeah, I need to make this gathered and tucked in. But I will get to that eventually. Not right this second. right this second, I'm going to thread some needles with the pink, if I saw where the pink was. Red. That is purple, that is red. Toby, you have my pink. Oh, thank you. I have the pink. Okay, I'll put all that back. Okay. And my needles and my pin cushion. Okay. Silver Sword. Hi, Felicia. Good to see you and your progress with this dress. Oh, and greetings to your co-star, Bruno. You were cute with Odin, too. Oh, thank you. I know. I didn't take them yesterday, and they were upset that I didn't take them with me to the live stream. Because they knew what day it was. I'm going to start with 3 needles. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. Feel free to ask me hand sewing questions today because I will be doing a lot of that. I'm going to explain it all in a minute. I'm just got to thread these needles first. And don't worry, I'm just doing this live. You guys can't hardly see Toby and Bruno. Ugh. I never quite get this camera angle right. Oh well, I'll figure it out eventually. Let me see if I can. Toby and Bruno. Here's my palm of my hand. Hi. And focus. All right, here's one needle. And I am going to wax all 3 of these because I already didn't do it for one little tiny snap, and I had like 3 knots that I did not want to deal with. Oh, there it is. I didn't lose that pen. I have it. Here we go. I can breathe when I'm threading needles. I really can, like a normal human being. Okay. And one more for now. It's the scientific process of how long to make the thread length. 1 yard is from the tip of my toe nose to my fingertips. And it's also 2 armfuls of sewing. Any longer than that, it's just diminishing returns, and it's easier to rethread a needle than it is to pull and pull and pull the thread through. So 2 pulls for a double threaded needle. I mean, for a regular, you pull it through and you have 2 threads go through. Look at how it just knotted it up on itself because it untwisted there. There's a knot on the end. It happens. Just cut it off because I don't want to deal with it. Just let it go. But when you double thread your needle, you do 4 pulls because then it's gets threaded on in the halfway point. And geez, I was thinking, anyways, I'm thinking about threading a needle while I'm threading a needle, and I'm not doing either thing right. Anyways, you double thread your needles sometimes so that you can sew on buttons quicker or hooks and eyes quicker, and then you have a stronger stitch because every stitch has 4 threads instead of just 2 threads going in it. So I like to do it when I'm sewing in bust cups or like I said, buttons and such. But in general, just 2-ply works. I'm going to, I have an arm right here. Right here, this little blue thing on my sewing machine, I stuck it there. It's a sticker. It has my thread wax in it. So I'm just going to wax my thread so I can't use that as an excuse for my knots. Okay. But I have my needles threaded, and now I'm going to, this thing's massive. It just is massive. It's massive. It doesn't feel massive, but it's massive. Patterns. There. This is the velvet belt that I'm not sure if I really want to continue going with. This was my traveling system right here. So before I can like start trying it on, twirling around and having fun in it, I have to attach the lining. The lining is not sewn down. It is lightly attached. It is not as pretty as the top, but I have to go around and stitch it down. And there are a couple of swirls going on here. And look at, I have like this giant donut. That doesn't fit on the table. It just doesn't fit on the table. It is too big to even fit on the table. So yeah, it's kind of a big, but it is fun and I love it. DJ is something that's hilarious. At Big Bad Wolf, glad it's not just me that gets knots in my thread. Thought I was, though I always blamed it on being left-handed, and the needle being right-handed one works for me. That's hilarious. I'm neither-handed. Yeah, so I can't even blame it on that. Ouch. But okay. This is a beast and a half. I think my plan I have to do the whole inside, and I have to do this edge, and I have to do the whole outside, and then I have to do the other edge. So if I start here and go around the perimeter, I can continue the swirl all the way down to the other edge, go up the other edge, and then do the perimeter inside the swirl, and then come back down and finish at this corner. So that is my plan to do. I'm going to move this out of the way. You gotta switch this way. And I'm gonna move this out of the way. You guys can't even see what it is, but it's my rolled paper for patterning and this arm. Okay, this does not fit on either of these tables, like at all. Yes, donuts for sure. Was going to say Simpson style donut toppings. Yeah, it is totally giving me pink donut vibes. Randy's donut cold. They want their icing back. Dan does jump. Good question. How will the skirt secure onto the wearer other than being held up by the hips? Look like it has some weight to it. Very good question. Friction. It is a swirl. It is a full-on, complete swirl. So when you are in it, you are in it. It is made to the measurement within to cone. So it really is friction that's holding it however far out you want or however coned you wanted with the wearer inside of it. There's not as much flexibility in the waist size. There's like 4 inches of ease room, either way, too big or too small. So it really is the way I designed it. You just kind of twirl into it. I will show you, but I have to stitch the lining on first before I can try it on, which is like so close to playing in it, but I can't until the lining is attached. And I have to go all the way around these swirls that I made. And I have a couple of them to go. And we're starting on the bottom at the ugliest side. So it looks pretty good on camera. So I'm like, phew. But it is, I just got to do this. 'Tis what it is. Although I should trim some of this. I'm only trimming it so that my stitches are 100% on the back and not like poking through on the edge towards the front. No Big Bad Wolf custom airbrushing and decals. I won't be using suspenders for this, but suspenders are a great tool. We will be using the spiral patterning as the, let me just get this started. I am on the wrong side. There are easier ways that once you get into the motion of it, that you thread things in. Yeah, that's what I didn't want to do. It's okay. I'm just glad you guys can watch me make weird mistakes. There we go. Okay. Yes, Dan, using spiral physics. Yes, it's designed to clamp on. It is kind of the way I patterned it because I was thinking of all the different ways that I could use closures on it. I could put a zipper in, it was easy enough. Like I could Velcro it. But I really liked the idea of spinning in the skirt, like of twirling into it. So, but I can't do that until the lining is attached. But the cardboard part of it worked. And I know it's a lot heavier with all this added bulk of the velvet, but there's also a lot more friction involved. And so it does a better job holding the cone shapes. So it's really fun to play with, but I can't play with it until this stinking part is done, the nice boring part. But it goes fairly quickly. I'll hang out with you guys and do it for a while. And if that gets too boring, then I'll just watch TV and finish it up. But yeah. So another secret when you're hand stitching, you can use your nose grease. If it's starting to get really hard to push your needle through, it's getting stuck. Nose grease, it won't leave oily spots on your fabric, but it will make the gliding process significantly better. And as nasty as that sounds, my friend's grandma told me that secret and it works and I love it and I will forever continue using it. So shh, don't tell. But you can either use nose grease or like in your hair, just run the needle through your hair. And then all of a sudden this hand stitching with the needle stabbing part is a lot easier. I made a foot. I am going to go through so many needles and threads. Oh, nice, DJ Stumpy. I'm currently entertaining my daughter with some 90s rave and dad dancing, so dipping in and out today on Monday. Such bliss. Oh, well, enjoy your daddy-daughter dance time. That sounds amazing. Have fun. Yes, the 45th clown, DJ Stumpy, living up to the username. This isn't the worst. Maybe I should use one of these. As soon as I put it on my finger, that's the finger I stop using. Huh. Well, I guess it keeps it from getting hurt. All right, I need to lock off the stitch. It's too short to sew comfortably with. I say that out loud because I catch myself all the time stitching with an uncomfortably short needle and thread. It's just not worth it. Okay. Put you over there. Next one. Yay, pre-threaded needle and threads. Lock the stitch in place, 2 stitches in place when I start. And I am just doing a large whip stitch all the way around on the underside. This is my underside of my giant donut skirt. It's so big. Like, I feel like visually on screen, yeah, it's taking up most of the screen, but this is 2 tables next to each other and it takes up all the space. And I love it. I'm not complaining. I absolutely love it, but it is massive to work it with. Trim these down. function with those things on. So now I'm questioning, because you guys have mentioned hand sewing. What was the last thing you guys hand stitched? Genuine question. Before this weird project, I helped my sister take in some things. Yeah, she came over, sat and talked with me, and I fixed her things. I hate doing alterations, but I'll do them for people who are nice and sit and talk with me while I do them. Oh no, Spooky's upset. Let me go get Spooky. Come on in, Spooky. Kitty cats hate when doors are closed. They don't want to go in the door. They just want that, like, the option to. You took away my option to go in and out of that door. That bothers me. Well, I don't want to go in there. Oh, my kitty cat. He's crazy, but I love him. All right, let's see. 45th clown last hand stitch was mock-up glasses case. That's a very good thing to hand stitch. Makes sense. So did you actually make the glasses case? DJ Stumpy, patches to the arm of my Lister jacket. Underworld tune. Nice. Bib by Wolf custom airbrushing and decals. Smegging hell? I don't get it. Oh, Danda's junk. I gained a little more space in my back shed. I really cleaned up after the con. I still have so many foam scraps I need to throw out. I have all the cardboard scraps from this project that I need to throw out, but I have been using them for this project, so I have not thrown them out. But as soon as this project is wrapped up, at the end of the week, I will be doing a project cleanse, a post-project cleanse, when I just get rid of all the scraps from my project because they take up space they cannot have anymore. The project's done. Any big pieces go into the reusable scrap bin. The rest are let go. And then all the pieces and bits and boxes that I have for the project get assimilated back into the other crafting supplies. And I reset for the next project. It's a very good feeling. But it also is an overwhelming feeling when I start to think about how many cardboard scraps I have. And the not fun post cleanup project. Oh, Danda's junk. It was probably a button to a dress shirt. Nice. 45th clown. I did make them in leather after all. Oh, nice. I do really like working with leather. It's one of my favorite materials to craft with.
Yeah. Let me get in some more hand stitches. I'm almost done with this one. It's getting short. Yeah. So I'm starting to stitch. You guys can't see it, but my thread, when I just let it loose, loops up on itself. So there is a loop here. I didn't cause this loop. It's just naturally there and it wants to be there. So that's a sign that I should probably drop my needle and let the spins get out when it starts looping up on itself, because then the looping leads to knotting. Yeah. But doing this circular motion over and over and over again loops your threads, which isn't a bad thing. It just, yeah. Oy. This is going to take forever. Forever. And ever and ever and ever. No, it goes surprisingly fast. I just have to do it. And that's the part I don't. No, it's not the part I don't like. I like doing it. It's just the work. And needle number 3. Hey, Toby, how are you doing? You been a good kid? Bippo Wolf Custom Airbrushing and Decals thought I was the only red dwarfer. Then Cat for the PM. Welcome, Wolverine Scratch. Glad you can make it. 45th Clown, Crichton, Robert Lug. I can't read from here. Does a fully charged show on YouTube that isn't bad, but still see him as the character. Okay. Nice. Hey, Toby, what's up? Toby's going to leave me for somewhere more comfortable now. And Toby just let himself out. 45th Clown. Sorry, that was a Red Dwarf reference. Sorry, I haven't seen that show. Movie, I don't know it yet. Watch it be a video game. Ha! All right, you guys asked me about my cosplays that I was thinking of doing. What are cosplays that you guys are working on? Not necessarily currently, but the ones that are coming up. Wolverine Scratch. Americans don't usually watch Red Dwarf. That's probably why I don't know. Red Dwarf should be on BritBox in the US. Oh. Okay. Yeah. This is getting real old real quick. It's not, but at the same time, repetitive motion over and over again. Yes. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Odin asked me if I was going to throw it through the sewing machine, almost as half jokingly. And he half jokingly, because he's like, you wouldn't throw that cardboard through the sewing machine. And I was laughing because I would totally throw the cardboard through the sewing machine. The reason that I wouldn't throw this through the sewing machine to stitch this down is because of the velvet. Right? The fabric is why I wouldn't put it in the sewing machine, not the cardboard. I just thought that was funny. Grew up watching it here in Canada on PBS. Okay. It's the 38th anniversary this year? Jeez. Okay. There we go. Okay, my fingers are getting stabbied. So 3 needles and threads gets me a third of my circle circumference. This is going to be a while. So how many needles and thread do you think it's going to take me to get around this entire skirt? That takes me 3. I know there's 2 full complete circles. I'm going to go through 18 needles. That's my guess. The bow of custom airbrushing and decals. Hottest gazpacho soup that show. Gazpacho. Makes me think of the cartoon Chowder. I love how that looks red in the back. It's the same velvet as here, and it's the same color as that pink, and it's the same color as that pink, but it's just messing with the color. But I also don't have any of this like really well white balance. I just have the automatic whatever. So these colors are intense, and I'm here for it. Ah! Knot Top is here saying 1 million. 1 million what? Oh, welcome, Knot Top. Glad you're here. You know, I'd say I'd get sick of pink by the end of this project, but it's a lie. I wouldn't. Yeah, I used to think I didn't like pink when I was a little kid. I just didn't like that people assumed it was my favorite color when I was a kid. My favorite color was yellow. But I really like being around these intense colors. It's very therapeutic. When I had to sew that giant skirt / giant curtains for Kayla Park's music video, that was so much pink. It was a week of just pink, everything pink, the whole, like just yard, like this circle skirt feels huge. That skirt was the biggest skirt I've ever worked on. It was just yards and yards and yards of stitching pink satin fabric. And, you know, I didn't get tired of it. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was a fun little weird time in my life, not gonna lie. It's a lot of pink. And this is more of an intense pink, but it's not as much as that. Nice. Okay. Not top. My stream playback was on lag. LOL. I was answering how many needles and threads it'll take to finish. 1 million. I would be so sad if it took 1 million. Million. 1 million bajillion thousands of hundreds. Yeah. I'm gonna use bigger scissors. So with velvet, you really find out which scissors are your good scissors and which scissors just don't cut it. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, velvet, satin, stretch knits, all these fabrics, hence why people really like, please don't use my fabric scissors, really need a good sharp blade to cut. It's just, they do. And these scissors cut it. These ones don't. These ones don't. These ones do. And these ones do. These ones don't cut satin, but they'll cut velvet. These ones used to cut satin very well, but now they just cut cotton. And these are my cut everything, just titanium scissors. And for now, they work. DJ Stumpy, answering your question, as you know, I attempted to make Rimmer's current suit, including a power cord out the back maybe. Then I want to remake my Man Plus suit I spoke about last night on Odin's live stream. Nice. Cosplays are always so much fun. I genuinely love excuses to play dress up. As somebody who worked at a costume shop, like parties are better when you have dress up parties. Events are so much more fun and memorable when you play dress up. I don't know what it is about pretending to be someone else that makes you feel more like yourself or comfortable to be ridiculous. I don't know. I think costumes can be very therapeutic, and I don't know, I've had a lot of interesting encounters with people, helping them get dressed up in the costumes and stuff. And I think that I like that side of humanity, the playful side of humanity. 45th Clown. I love purple as a child and an adult. I like wearing pink shirts and ties. Nice. I think it's interesting, especially since pink was considered the more masculine of colors and blue was the delicate colors for the little ladies. It's all in perspective. You know, you like what you like. I honestly have a hard time picking a favorite color. It's like, why pick a favorite? There's so many different uses for all the colors. And so my grandma, when she would... That was just a ruler. Sorry, Toby, I didn't mean to scare you. My grandma would ask us what our favorite colors was so she could, make us little teddy bears and, crocheted knit things. And I couldn't pick a color. There was like so many that I liked that we decided on baby rainbow because it had all the colors in it. And that has been my favorite color ever since. It's just rainbow. Like all the colors. I can pick them all. That's the one I like. Hi, you. What's wrong? Do you have a toy? I can throw your toy if you have a toy. You want to throw your ball? Get a ball. Go. Oh. Oh no, DJ Stump. The only difference is I don't want to get stuck in the urinal this time. Now that sounds like a fun story. Yes, don't get stuck in the urinal. That is not a good idea. Although the last con I went to, I helped a girl with stitching a hole in her Morphe style suit, so a spandex suit. So she was kind of trapped in the bathroom while I was fixing her outfit. You know, it can happen at a con. Poor girl, very trusting, and I'm glad we were able to get her back on her feet. So, yes. Oh, you're back? Okay. Sorry, I'm making progress. Yeah, I'm already starting to get poke holes in my fingers. There's one here. Yeah. Yeah. We went through 3 whole freaking cans of spray glue on this, and can't spray glue the actual velvet part. You have to do the backing and the cardboard. It's weird how big this task was. It was a simple task, but it was just a big task. Not top. I may have missed it. Is there a reason to sew short sections at a time? Because the length of the thread. So you pull the thread through. My arm's only this long, and I can only pull, like pulling it past here. There's a diminishing return of benefits, because once you start pulling it and pulling it and pulling it, you get more and more knots, and it's harder to tangle the threads. So if you just use an arm pull as your general length for the length of your needle and thread, you're going to be in the prime stitching length the entire time that you're sewing. And it's easier to thread a whole bunch of needles and threads and have them at an easy length to work with than it is to have one needle and thread with a really long piece of thread that you have to pull and pull and pull through and make sure it doesn't get tangled and knotted, and then you have to cut short anyways if it does get knotted. So that's why it is better to work in smaller sections of needles and threads. Even though personally part of me wants to just do one giant thread, and it doesn't work. It really doesn't. It's not worth it. And then once you start getting too small, it's just, there's a point where it's no longer worth it either, and you have to leave yourself some room to tie off. I'm almost to that length right now. But that is why I am working in sections of needles and threads. I took a couture sewing class in college, taken lots of sewing classes and I have a degree in fashion design, merchandising, marketing, and production. I have a bachelor's degree in that. And when I took the couture sewing class, that's where I really learned to just use reasonable sections for your needles and threads. Like, just pre-thread a bunch of needles. It's worth it. Like when you do like couture beading, they pre-thread a bunch of needles because you don't want to be thinking about threading needles and all of that. You want to think about the work that you're physically doing at the moment. So I pre-threaded 3 of them, and now I'm just kind of threading as I go because it breaks up the monotony. Let all the twists get out of that thread. Twists equal knots. Yes. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Twirling this thing around. Get some wax on this thread. Waxing also helps everything go smoother. This skirt was way too big to cut out and assemble to this point on the live stream. I did it yesterday with Odin after our live stream. And I posted some pictures on Instagram if you wanted to check it out, just kind of where we were working on it. I was in the middle of everywhere, but trying to be out of the way. But all cleaned up now. And now I just have to do the easy part. We did the hard part yesterday. The hard part was getting to this point. Now I just have to finish it. Very grateful to have enough thread. Enough fabric. Yeah, because otherwise I would just get more fabric. Glad I didn't have to. Big Bad Wolf custom airbrushing and decal off for some Vindaloo. Have a good one, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us. Appreciate that you were here. Yeah. Wow, has it already been an hour-ish? Hour and a half-ish? Jeez. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm gonna get through this. I forgot how many needles I'm up to. I'm not up to 1,000,000 yet. I did 3, then I did one more 4, and this one's number 5. Ouch. Yeah, but I don't know if I can do another half an hour of hand sewing. My fingers are already feeling it. And yes, I have a thimble, but as soon as I put the thimble on my finger, I stop using my finger that has the thimble on it. Not on purpose. It's just now this one doesn't work. Or this one doesn't work. It's just as soon as I put the thimble on, I stop using that finger. I'm okay. Oh yeah. That is my hair. I read once that a hair of a unmarried seamstress will, when she's sewing a bridal gown, if you sew a hair of an unmarried seamstress into the hem of a bridal gown, the seamstress will have good luck in matrimony. And if a married woman sews one of her hairs into the hem of a bridal gown, it's supposed to be like good luck for the bride, that she's going to have a happy marriage. But honestly, I think it's just we shed our hair so much that it's, oh, a thread got in there. It's good luck. No. But I always think about that every time that I stitch a hair into something. I'm like, it's good luck. Either way, for me, for you, it is what it is. I will take all the luck I can get. Oh, we have Austin Lips here. How's your day going today, Felicia? It is going very well. Thank you very much. I have your drawing here today, Austin, that you had sent over to Odin's channel. So Austin Lips drew this lovely tree. It is a ringlet with these flowers. So thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. Okay. I'm starting. I get annoyed of sleeves. I just do. Like, I'm stitching. I have to be able to move. I don't know. That is not the right way. Yes, that is a very cool drawing, the 45th Clown. Austin Clips drew that and sent it over to Odin's P.O. box. And we opened it over on his live stream, which was fun. So thank you for that. I don't think that I'm going to get around one of these circles today. Jeez. Austin Lips, thank you for opening the trees yesterday, and I'm glad you liked them. You're very welcome. Thank you for sending them. Thank you for being thoughtful. I appreciate that. Yes, I definitely appreciate that. Is that my tummy or Bruno whining? Huh, I think it's my tummy. My hair is getting tangled. I'm just sewing it in. At least I'm not stitching it to like my knee or something like I've done before. How many of you guys have stitched yourself to something? It's not as uncommon as you think. I don't know what I've stitched myself to, but I just know that I've stitched myself to things. It's happened. All right, I'm getting too short to be able to tie off. All right, that was needle number 5. Let's go for 6. I would say let me go for a really long one, but no. Nope, we're live. I don't want to struggle. The algorithm might not like the cursive words that I say when I start to fight the thread that's too long. So. So Austin, I have a question for you. How come trees? Trees typically represent growth and knowledge and change. Why were you inspired to draw trees? It can just be like, I like the way that trees look and I just felt like drawing a tree. That is a valid reason. I'm just curious. What was your inspiration for drawing trees? Other than, I really do like drawing trees. They are very fun. Get into the twists and turns of the branches, details with the leaves. All right, number 6. Needle and thread, number 6. And I am about to my halfway point. So will it take me 12 to do my first circle? And then that would take me about 24 to do 2 circles, plus the little circles in the middle. I think Not Top was right, 1,000,000. It's going to take 1,000,000 needles and threads.
Austin Lips. Each tree takes me a couple of hours, and then made the second one another couple of hours. And yeah, the details, they used to be sticks and now real trees.
Yeah, no, I can tell work. I see a lot of work when I see, oh, it's just a quick drop. No, things take time. Drawing. Yes. There is a spot on this finger that I'm really trying to avoid stabbing, but I keep repetitively stabbing it. I feel like I'm trimming pie crust, like the pie dough off of the pie crust when I trim it off of just the edge. Oh no, somebody's walking past. For Bruno to bark at. What I think is hilarious is when Toby and Bruno are barking at Spooky out front, and then Spooky comes over, like walks around the entire house and comes and sits next to them when they're all like riled up and going, who are we looking at? Who are we looking at? And they're like, we're looking at you. See? Yeah. Spooky's a silly kitty cat. I swear he has a sense of humor. Oh, jeez. This thing is massive. Too much.
Too bad they don't make something that keeps you from stabbing your finger, Knock Top. I know, but as soon as I put it on the finger, that gets like I stop using that finger, and it's annoying. I have one. I really do. I don't use it because I just stopped using that finger. I couldn't stand metal thimbles because my fingernails touching the tops, like scraping the tops of the thimbles, and then not actually like fitting flat because there's a nail keeping it from being useful. And I don't even have long fingernails. Like it just that isn't my favorite thing with metal thimbles. But I do appreciate the little divots in them that you can really stab needles through, like intense fabric layers and stuff. So I do use them, and there are purposes for them, like heavy duty, but I don't use them in the everyday to keep from the stabbing, even though I should. So then I tried these thimbles. They're just a soft rubber thimble, and they're much better. They're more practical, and they're not as good for those huge, like you actually really need a metal thimble job, but they are more comfortable, and my nails, the sensation of nails on the inside of the thimble doesn't bother me. But I feel like I have an injury or something like that, and I start to baby the finger that has the thimble on it, like I'm not supposed to use it. And so I feel more handicapped than helped by using the tool that should be helping me. I know it's crazy. But as the stabbing pains go up, my willingness to use my tools goes up too. Starting to loop up on itself, so just gotta let the twist hang out, and then I'm getting to too short of a length to comfortably really work with. So I gotta thread this one off and move on to a whole nother needle. But my motivation is that I get to twirl in the skirt as soon as it's done. So
That is my goal, is to get this done so I can twirl in it. I'm really excited about how there's no closures and that you just have to twist it on and twist it off. And I think it's
going to be a fun spinny skirt for sure.
okay. That was needle number 6.
Oh, we have Schultz division here. Hello, Schultz division. And Wolverine Scratch saying, hey. Not top. Whoa, I always thought the thimble was for not getting jabbed with the needle end. I never thought about pushing hand. Yeah, stabbing needles through fabric can be really difficult, especially once you start bulking up fabric. You can easily just start to get like 10, 12, 15 layers in there just by through the facings, interfacings, linings, attachments. It can get bulky really quick. And it's not necessarily to pull it through the thread. It's just to shove it through the thread, through the fabric. You really got to push these needles. They're not really designed to pull the needle out of the thread. They're more designed for the pushing hand. That's for sure. Because I'm not really stabbing my fingers when I'm pulling it out. I'm more stabbing when I'm trying to push it into the fabric. And that's where the stabbing happens that I do not enjoy. But also, I don't know, tough up a little, just get through it. Oh no, Toby. Something exciting is happening. It's the talk of the town. Needle and thread. It's pink and it totally blends in. DJ Stumpy, my daughter wasn't enjoying the rave, so I whacked on Madness and she joined with the shaking. Hers was a wheelchair shake, but it counts. One step beyond.
Sounds like a fun dance party.
Austin Loops. Well, I like plants and trees, and they used to be stick-sized trees, and I practiced, and then they are now realistic trees.
Yep. Oh, sometimes you just got to add more. Yeah. My fingers are getting more and more stabbed. I am using my thimble. If I didn't stab it through the cardboard, it'd be a lot easier. So this rubber one is not the best. I totally just stabbed through it with the back of that. Oh, shit. I am tangled. And I just started this needle and thread. Okay, I was just going to cut it and start over, but we saved it. Whew. Okay. I got a lot of glue in this corner. I can feel it because there's no knot stabbing through the cardboard. Okay, I think I am going to finish up with this needle and thread and call it a stream today, because I just have a lot of hand sewing to do. Lots and lots. Of hand sewing, and I don't want to step through that.
Austin lives. Each tree is a different, and I'm sorry Odin's tree faded, but how's everyone's day going?
No apologies. I wouldn't have even noticed it was faded. I would have just thought it was the ends. Artistic and renderation. Artistic vision, I would assume. I can't speak right now. Sorry. Can't hand stitch and talk.
Wolverine Scratch, you've been wonderful as always, Felicia. Hope the project is finished soon.
It is going to be done very soon. This project, I'm going to be giving it away on Friday for sure. So yeah, there's not too much more to do. I got the hard closures in. I have to finish stitching all the way around this skirt, tuck that shirt in, and figure out if I'm going to do a belt or not. And then I'm done. So it's really not a lot more. But I do have to get around all of this. Ouch. I just stabbed through this rubber. This is where you really need an actual metal one, because I'm stabbing through the glue and the cardboard. Yeah, this is definitely going to be my last needle for this stream. So I've stabbed myself enough to have a hole in my thimble now. Don't worry, these come in like a 6-pack, so I think they realize that they will get poked holes in there, just more comfortable than wearing metal ones. Although you could probably put a metal one over this, but the metal ones are so gosh darn tiny, I don't know if they would fit.
Okay. Oh, wow. Schultz Division. A girl in Denmark got kidnapped 2 days ago and she's found again. But a hard crime went on and the whole country is aggressive as hell against this person. But a hard crime went on and the whole country is aggressive as hell against this person. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope she's okay. Everything's all right. Austin Lips, what's that big circle? It's my giant circle skirt. I can't show you how it works until I get all the stitching done. I have to attach my lining before I can, because otherwise I'll screw it up. I have to hand stitch it. So I will definitely show you guys as soon as I'm done hand stitching it, the skirt, but it is not a donut. You cannot eat it. As delicious as this looks, it is a circle skirt. DG Stumpy, that's good to hear they found her. Yes, for sure. Not taught always. Innovating double layer thimble. They kind of do have those. They have like a rubber thimble with like a clip-on metal piece. I have
not bothered. I haven't used those ones yet. Yeah. This part where it's really glued down well. Oh, it's hard to sew through. Like, I'm very glad that it's stitched down well, but I definitely prefer the Eileen's and the rubber cement to the upholstery spray glue and contact cement. They are easier to sew through and less, they're not as sticky, but it is what it is. Okay.
45th Clown, thank you for the stream and info. Good seeing the progress.
Thank you. I know. I'm excited. I want to twirl in this thing. I know it's not my skirt, but I'm twirling in it before I give it away. It's just, it is what's going to happen.
Gotta make sure it works, right? I'm
probably not going to be twirling tonight. I'll probably be twirling tomorrow, though, honestly. That's my goal, is to be twirling by tomorrow. Thank you, Austin Lips. I'm almost done with this needle. This one has been really, this edge has been glued down really well, but it's not fun for stabbing. Oh, that's so sad. Schultz division. Yeah, I have friends who work in the news, and it can take a toll. I know it doesn't happen often in Denmark, but it happens way too often than I care to talk about. Oh, yeah, stay safe out there, people. Be kind. I'm about 75% of my circle. I started there, and I'm all the way around to here. I'm not fully 75%. I'm being hopeful, but we're getting there. Right here is where I had the barely not enough. Like I fit the circle on the best that I could. Hoi, I had within an inch, and I think it turned out great. But this was where it was like, because on both sides it was just like at the edge. All right, let me tie off this thread. Schultz division, didn't mean to ruin your stream with this news, but it's really awful. No, I feel you. Like, honestly, caring's important. That's the biggest part of making sure that shit doesn't happen, is giving a fuck. I mean, anyways, yes, caring is important. I'm done with today. Like, I made it to the end of, that was lucky number 7, needles and threads, all the way to here, starting at this end. I have to finish going around this circle a third more way-ish, and then I have a whole nother circle, and then I have to go up the edge, the interior circle twice, because there's 2 layers, and then go back down towards the end.
So it's a marathon. It's not a race. The bodice is finished. The tie, I want to add a little piece on the back so it looks like it's tied, so it has that little flap. But other than that, I think this one's almost good to go. Probably have a conversation with Raul, see if there's any other details he wants, needs, or cares about before I call it a day. There's fuzz everywhere, but you guys can't see it on camera, so I won't worry about it. And then this lady, she is almost done. I have to figure out how to tuck in her shirt because though it's a little tricky to just do a tucked in shirt. There's many ways I can address it. We'll see which way I end up doing, but I have to do that. I got the snaps in, so now it has its own closure on the very front. And the skirt is done for that one. Yeah, I just got to sit down and finish hand stitching all the freaking way around and up and around and down. So that's, excuse me, that's my plan. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm working on. More circles than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Yes. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for being interested in this project. I think it's going to turn out really great. I'm really having fun with it. It's definitely very cartoony. I am so excited to twirl around in this skirt, but I can't until I get the lining attached. Yeah, right now it's all upside down, waiting for me to. But I love the velvet. As a pain in the ass as it has been to work with, I absolutely love it, and it's totally worth all the pain in the ass it is. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Appreciate you being here. Goodbye, Schultz Division, 45th Clown, Austin Lips, and DJ Stumpy. Have fun. Be safe today, and I will check back in once this thing is twirlable. That's for sure. So until then, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.